Ty is not going. He barely knows. I'm good. You can take all the videos. I feel like the We'll see how the crowd is feeling. For now, we'll bring on those.
Very true. 7 months.
Oh, hours? I want to find someone.
Yeah, sure. We'll save the date.
I didn't know you guys came.
You might want to.
Before you start asking.
It is. Hello, hello.
Within the hour.
And you said that.
Okay, buddy, okay.
Okay, I'll.
And does he not believe in sleep?
I'm like, hey, how we doing? Oh. Sorry, that was not supposed to be on.
There's a blind person watching. Why we sleep
My mom likes her mom.
Words, yeah.
They
somehow work out, but work out is
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? How are we doing? Make some noise, make some noise. How we feeling? Feeling good? Who is ready to hear some TED Talks? Yeah. Yeah. All righty, I am excited. I am hyped for these four wonderful people. They're gonna invigorate us. I'm so excited. All righty. Well, first and foremost, we are going to have Haley. Now, a few things about Haley. If she could have any scented candle, she would pick the smell of wet potatoes or cow manure. All right, that is interesting. She has a fear of cornbread. Okay, all right. And she got my associates in high school. That's pretty sick. That is cool. If nothing else, that is worthy of her applause. Give her some noise. Make some noise.
Okay. Yeah, Haley.
Okay, so about a year ago, I was in high school and I was really struggling. I was the type of person that kind of held everything with a grudge, and I let it ruin my day, and I was just not, I don't know, I wasn't really grateful for everything. And I came home one day after someone had said something mean to me, and at this point, I can't remember what it was, but someone had said something mean, and it ruined my whole day. Okay. Oh, hey y'all. Okay. But I'd come home and I was just kind of still in my mood, and my brother and my best friend, Gage, walked in and he goes, "Hey Haley, how are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, dandy. Like, I'm fine." And he's like, "Hey, let's go play a game." And so we played his favorite game, Jenga, and we were playing, and he asked, "Haley, something's wrong. I know something's wrong. What's going on?" And I told him how I had just been feeling off because someone said something that I did not like that morning, and it ruined my whole day. And he looked at me and he goes, "Well, Haley, you're mean to me all the time, but I don't let it affect me. I forgive you." And I was like, "Okay, thanks for that TED Talk. Thank you." And we kept playing, and he's like, "Yeah, if you forgive, then you're able to be happy, and you can play the game happier," because I was not in the mood. He goes, "Yeah, because you're ruining the game because you're not happy, and you're focusing on this one thing that happened this morning." And so after talking with him, my mindset kind of changed. It flipped a switch, and it taught me that, let's see. Okay, forgiveness isn't about pretending harm didn't happen. It's about recognizing that the imperfections are universal. He helped me realize that I'm mean as well, unfortunately, but he's still able to forgive me, and he's still able to look at me and love me and still be happy. Okay, so what is forgiveness exactly? When it comes to forgiveness, I feel like we kind of treat it like a reward, that it's something that someone has to earn, when in reality, it's not about them, it's about you. And it's about it's about the acceptance and the intention to forgive others and to let go of that resentment. So I'm gonna have to kind of demonstrate that. I'm gonna have my friend Bryson come up and help me.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and put that on. So in life is like a journey, and we're all on our own path. We're on our own path, and when life is easy, your path is light. But life is not always like that. Life gets hard. You make mistakes. Other people say things to you. It happens. But let's say you let things get to you. So sometimes people say things, and if you hold on to that grudge, it obviously weighs on you. So someone broke a promise. I'm going to add that into your pack. You were left out. This is about 20 pounds, just FYI. Someone may have lied to you, and then someone said a mean comment. Hoping this doesn't break. Okay, how's that feel?
It's quite heavy.
Quite heavy?
Quite heavy.
Quite heavy? Could you take a hike with it or walk across campus with that? Not comfortably? And I think that's also another hard part is all this has happened to him, and we kind of treat it like we're punishing the other person. That by us being angry and us not forgiving them, we're punishing them. When really, who's carrying all the weight? He is. And it's not easy. It's twice as hard to do things. Sure, standing there is really fun. While the other person is living their life, having time of their life, getting good sleep while you're here with a sore back and you would not sleep well. But once we're able to finally choose and accept the hurt, accept the pain, but make the intentional decision to let go and say, I'm going to choose to take this off. I don't want the weight. Then you can make that decision. You choose to take that off. So you can choose to take it off if you really want to. I know it's fun. Awesome. Well, round of applause for him. Another thing that I think is important is that we have to realize that there is no perfect person. We all make mistakes, as Gage said, but we expect other people to act flawlessly, even though we know we don't. We kind of make excuses for ourselves, whether I was tired, I was stressed, I didn't mean to. But when someone else does it, you take it as a personal attack. The gap between what we expect and what people are actually capable of, that's where most of our hurt lives. When that mistake becomes a moment, it's not a verdict. If you not let it take a hold of you and harden your hearts, then you're able to move on and you're getting rid of that pack and you're getting rid of the weight that's happened. We're not letting someone off the hook. We're not saying that the harm wasn't bad or anything, but moving on is what is really the importance here. Oh. Okay. After freeing yourself may allow you to see this person and situation in a whole different light. Instead of focusing on all the negatives, forgiving may allow you to remember all of the positives that once were and probably still are. So Abigail Brenner spent majority of her life trying to figure out why people can't forgive or what it takes to forgive. And she wrote several books about understanding and how it needs to start with us first. And that sometimes you may not even hear sorry, like you cannot go in thinking that everything's going to be okay and that people are just going to come to you asking for your forgiveness. But that's kind of what she focused on. And then in my head, I thought, okay, what's another way to kind of show this? And so I thought a bridge as forgiveness. Bridges help you move forward. Walls help you isolate yourself. And walls are unfortunately easier to build than bridges. All it takes is one misunderstanding, one comment, one betrayal, and all these bricks begin to stack up and build a wall between you and someone else. While bridges are the opposite, and they help. It takes intention, but not only intention, but intention in direction, not perfection. You need intention to kind of guide where your heart needs to go. It takes courage, and it takes the act of moving forward and move toward of who you want to be and who you want to grow into. Because while walls isolate, it's important that we move forward. We're able to grow in ourselves, not only mentally, but physically as well. It creates a greater well-being. It creates healthier relationships, improved mental health, less anxiety, stress, and hostility, fewer symptoms of depression, lower blood pressure, and improved heart health, and greater self-esteem. Back to Gage. Again, I was going through it, and I know this was only like a little thing, but it really did help my self-esteem grow. I was able to forgive and forget things that were hurting me and were making me into someone that I did not want to become. I was isolating myself, just being in my room because I felt like the whole world was against me, and and so him saying that to me honestly helped improve my life and made me grateful for the relationships that I have and move forward with who I want to be. When we remember that everyone is human, forgiveness stops being a burden and it then becomes the bridge that leads us forward. If we can choose to take off the pack and forgive others and see other people as human, we can forgive people, and it does become easier. Thank you.
All right. How about that? How about that? I know I am feeling a lot better after that talk. I feel like a weight's been lifted off of my shoulders. All right. Well, up next, we have Justin. So, some cool facts about Justin. Justin has a paralyzed stomach. Very interesting. He is passed out from eating a chicken nugget. Okay, all right. And it must have been a really good nugget. He will be performing in West Yellowstone all summer long. That is impressive. All righty, but before that, he's going to give us an awesome speech. Let's hear it for Justin.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear, like you could fall and no one would hear? These are all lyrics from a popular musical called Dear Evan Hansen, found in a song titled You Will Be Found. In this musical, it centers around a character named Evan Hansen. Evan Hansen is a person who has felt alone, felt abandoned by the world, and felt as though no one would be there to help him. In my life, I have met many people who have also felt the same exact way. Sophie was only in 4th grade when she was diagnosed with ADHD. This made life very difficult for her. She was not able to make friends as easily, and she had a harder time connecting with people. Her freshman year of high school, she turned towards self-harm and would do self-harm on the weekly. In her junior year, she planned to commit suicide. Sophie was alone. Hayden was only 5 years old when his parents were divorced. His mom ended up marrying an abusive stepfather who would abuse him physically, verbally, and emotionally weekly. Hayden felt like the whole entire world was against him. He had nowhere to turn. Hayden felt alone. Juliet was in 8th grade when she was diagnosed with depression. She felt like she had no one near her. She felt as though a cloud of darkness was surrounding her. This led to self-harm and ended up with her in the hospital after a failed attempt of suicide. Juliet felt alone. Elsie was a sophomore in high school when she was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. She felt as though she had no close friends near her. She felt alone, and she felt as though she had nowhere to turn and nowhere to guide. Elsie was alone. Each of these 4 experiences that I shared are experiences of people who may be very similar to each one of us. They are people who have felt alone in life, felt as though they had no direction and nowhere to turn. The CDC describes loneliness as a feeling or a disconnect from others. It is feeling like you do not have meaningful or close relationships or a sense of belonging. It reflects the difference between a person's actual and desired level of connection. Loneliness is something that people feel very often. And the loneliness I want to talk about today is not necessarily the loneliness we feel just every once in a while, or we did bad on a test, or someone lied to us and we just felt a little lonely based on that. But I want to talk about a more severe sense of loneliness today, a severe loneliness that can cause many things to happen in people's lives. And now there are many reasons on why loneliness happens. We don't know the full reason. Sure, it could be parents got divorced, a best friend abandoned you, someone close to you passed away, you're dealing with mental illnesses often. All of these are reasons why loneliness can happen. Now, there are some factors that are more common in loneliness. One of the most common factors that people face is that it's the age range of 18 to 30-year-olds. That is the age range that most of us, if not all of us, are in today. 1 in 3 of these people are dealing with severe loneliness. So look around the room right now. 1 in 3 people in this room have dealt with or are currently dealing with severe loneliness. And men and women both deal with loneliness around the same amount. Now, when we are dealing with this loneliness, there are lots of questions that we may ask. such as, is anyone there for me? Does anyone care that I'm going through this? And is there any way out of this darkness? I'm here to tell you that there is a way out of this darkness. And it's important that we are there to help other people out of this darkness as well, because there are some severe risks that can come from dealing with severe loneliness. Some of these risks are depression and anxiety. Harvard University did a study on loneliness, and they found that 81% of people who are dealing with loneliness develop anxiety or depression. There's also an increased amount of heart disease and chance of stroke in someone's lifetime. Loneliness in the young adult ages can also lead to a risk of dementia when you are older. There's also a higher risk of self-harm and a higher risk of attempted and actually committing suicide. As we can tell, loneliness is something that is pretty severe, and it's something that we should all be very aware of in ourselves and in those around us. To start off, I want to talk about some ways that if you are dealing with severe loneliness now, how you can kind of overcome that. And these are based off of conversations I've had with people recently and also research that I have done on this topic. One of the first things you can do is talk with trusted individuals. Most people who are experiencing severe loneliness has someone that they trust, whether that be a family member or a really close friend. You can open up to them, you can talk about what you're dealing with, and you can find ways to overcome it. Another common way is to find new hobbies. Try to do something new and try to put yourself out there in the world. Meet some new people, experiencing something exciting. That is also a way we can overcome loneliness. One of my favorite ways is by serving others. When we serve others, we are telling them that they matter to us, and we hope that they matter or we matter to them as well. When we serve others, we can overcome loneliness. And one of the last ways, one of the hardest ways of all, is learning to love ourselves. This is very difficult when we are experiencing loneliness and when we feel like something is wrong in our lives. But as we learn to love ourselves and we learn to share that love with other people, we can overcome loneliness. Now, not everyone in this room is experiencing severe loneliness. So I want to talk about ways that you all, if you're not experiencing right now, can reach out and help someone else overcome this feeling. One of the first ways we can is to listen. Not just sit down and kind of listen as they're rambling or ranting. No, we want to be active listeners. We want to pay attention to what they're saying and do more listening than talking. I know this can be pretty hard. It's difficult for me. I really like talking to people and I like offering advice. But in a situation of loneliness, sometimes advice is not what they need. They just need a close friend to listen to. Another way is to have active communication with them. And what I mean by active communication is not the every hey in the hallway or just random lunch date every once a month, but actually reach out to these people. Send them a text message when you get the prompting to. Give them a call when their name comes to your mind. And of course, that annual lunch date is a good idea as well. You can take them out and hang out with them and show them that they are wanted and valued in your life. Another way is to support them. Support can come in many different ways. It can come as just being there for them when times get harder. It can be giving them advice when they ask for it. One of the best ways you can support someone is by watching for those warning signs when their severe loneliness gets a little too risky. If someone confides in you that they are thinking about suicide or that they are experiencing severe mental health issues due to being lonely, I would encourage you to have them reach out to the counseling center. Have them reach out to a licensed counselor or therapist so they can overcome this battle that they are facing. It's not something that just we can help them with if it has gone that far. They will need that licensed help. So I would invite you all, if you are experiencing loneliness, try one of those new things. And if you aren't, try one of the ways to reach out to someone who is, because I can promise you that there is people in your life, whether you know it or not, that is battling severe loneliness. Now I want to go back to those 4 people I mentioned at the beginning: Sophie, Hayden, Juliet, and Elsie. Sophie is now studying in college. She has made close relationships with people that she never thought would be possible, and she is currently working towards serving a mission. Sophie was found. Hayden served a full-time mission and returned home, which is something he never thought would be possible. Currently, he is studying down at Brigham Young University in Provo, which is another thing he did not think would be possible. He has close friends that he can confide in, and he has gone to therapy where it is needed. Hayden was found. Juliet is currently down in Utah working 5 jobs, and all of those jobs are helping her progress towards her eternal goals and her future career. Juliet started going to therapy and to rehabilitation centers where she was able to find the support and help that she needed. Juliet was found. Elsie was also able to go to college, and she was able to find close friends that she can confide in. She was able to find people that she did not know would be there for her in the future. Elsie was found. And to end off, I want to end off by sharing advice from each one of those 4 people that they said helped them and that they would tell their younger self today. Sophie says, it's okay. You will get to a place where you can move forward with people who love you, and you know they love you. Hayden said, don't quit. Don't beat yourself up. I promise things will work out. You are not forgotten. You are loved, and you have a brilliant future ahead of you. Juliet said, trust in your deliverer. The light is so much brighter than any darkness you have felt. And Elsie said, you are strong enough to get through this. I personally have gone through times of severe loneliness, and I know that the light is truly so much brighter than any darkness we have ever felt. So I encourage you, if you're feeling lonely, find ways to battle it. You truly are not alone. Because even when the dark comes crashing in, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, because you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found.
All righty, how about that? How about that? I know that Justin is a light to me. In fact, I think both of those 2 speeches have been great pillars, great examples of what we stand for here at BYUI, and that is becoming disciples of Jesus Christ. So let's hear it for Haley and Justin. All righty, all right. Well, I hope you're not too exhausted. We're going to have a short and brief intermission. We got some breakfast cereals for you, a wide variety of them. Please go feast upon them. And then we'll reconvene in about 5 minutes or so. So enjoy the intermission.
Wasn't you peeking out from under moonbeam through the palm trees, swaying in the breeze. I know I'm feeling so much more than ever before, and so I'm giving more to you than I thought I could do. Don't know how it happened, don't know why, but you don't really need a reason. When the stars shine, just to fall in love, made to love each other, made to be together for a lifetime. In the sunshine, flying in the sky, I know I'm feeling so much more than ever before, and so I'm giving more to you than I thought I could do. Oh, soaring sky high as the angels try, letting you and I fly love. Yeah. Hey, I was stuck inside that grave a long time. Didn't think I'd make it through those long nights. But you never late, you always on time. Remember when you got me out there, you got me out there. And now I see your blessings every day. Thankful that your kingdom's on the way. Angels all around me, hear them sing like, oh, I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing live. Walk about the grave, yeah, I'm alive now. Told the devil, boy, you out of time now. Spirit moving in me on the fire now. And I know it will never die out. Will never die out. And now I see your blessings every day. Thankful that your kingdom's on the way. Angels all around me, you say like, oh, I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing live. I'll never get used to this. From the morning to the evening, I can sing your praise all day. From the prison to the garden, you're the God who's breaking chains. When I look back on my whole life, there's a silver lining on the grace. I can't wait to thank you, Jesus. I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing live. I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing live. I'll never get used to this.
Que no volveré, que no volverá.
Hello, hello, I know it's been a while, but baby, I got something that I really wanna let you know. Yeah, something that I wanna let you know. You say to everybody that you hate me. Couldn't blame you 'cause I know I left you all alone. Yeah, I know that I left you all alone. Yeah, now I'm back to the door. You're looking at me unsure. I should have seen it before. You're all I think about, baby. I was so stupid for letting you go. But I know you're still the one. You might have moved on, but girl, you should know that I know you're still the one. I know I'm saying too much, but I will never give up. I was so stupid for letting you go. I know you're still the one. I know you're still the one. Hello, I'm really hoping you forgive me. I keep talking back and tell me what I wanna hear. Yeah, girl, just tell me what I wanna hear. I try to start again and find somebody, but I remember all the times and all the words he said. Yeah, I can't get it out of my head. Yeah, now I'm back at your door. You're looking at me unsure. I should have seen it before. You're all I think about, baby. I was so stupid for letting you go. But I know you're still the one. You might have moved on, but girl, you should know that I know you're still the one. I won't say too much,
All right. Can we get you all to reconvene? Make it back to your seats, please. We've got the second half of our TED Talks kicking off right now. If we could all just make our way to the seats, please. All right. Well, I know that the first two speakers already hyped you up enough, but if you need any refreshers or if you need even more hype, we are going to play a hype video of the entire team of our speakers today. All righty. So we hope you enjoy this little showcase. Yeah, just one moment. Technical difficulties.
Okay, ready?
Okay, now we're ready.
Uptown got its hustlers, Bowery got its bumps, 42nd Street got Big Jim, a Walker, he a bull shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim Boss just because. And they say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. But out of South Alabama come a country boy, said looking for a man named Jim. I am a bull shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down at home they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He drive on a drop top Cadillac. Last week he took all my money and it may sound funny, but I'm going to get my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
All right. So the next speaker up will be Ian Priest. Some fun facts about him. He collects vintage clothes, which is pretty cool. He's going to become a German citizen. That is very awesome. And he has too many hobbies. I also too have too many hobbies. But everyone give it up to Ian.
Can we hear it for the Bald Boys one more time? How about that? Huh? It's rumored that hair only causes more problems, and that's been proven true. It's true. And now on that same topic, who here knows where this is? Okay, where is this? Jackson Hole. I mean, yeah, it does kind of say it. This is the Jackson Hole aerial tram. It's about 2 hours from here, and it's this metal box that hangs off 3 cables and goes 4,000 feet up into the air to this place called Corbett's Cabin. And has anyone eaten here before? Okay. Coltrane, what do they have there? Waffles. Believe it or not, yes, there are waffles. And it is such an interesting thing that people take all that time to go up to 10,450 feet just to eat some waffles. And now more about this tram is it's this metal box that's just dangling off these wires, like I said. It can't be wider than 10 feet across, but it can fit up to 100 people. And I love riding it. It's honestly one of my highlights every time I go to Jackson Hole. Now, what makes it so special is it gets packed, like I said. And maybe the special feeling comes from the guy with all the swear words stuck to his helmet, who's already 2 beers deep that you can smell on his breath bumping into you. Or maybe it's the excitement that comes from them. They all want to go see these views. They all want to go make it up to the top, to Corbett's cabin, and eat some waffles. And the tram operator makes sure that as many people as possible can fit. These lines get pretty long, and every 9 minutes when it gets to the bottom and those gates open up, the tram and all the other people invite everyone until there is absolutely no more room. And I think that the Jackson Hole aerial tram is like heaven in 3 special ways. First of which, everyone is invited by that tram operator. Now this is 3 Nephi, chapter 9, verse 14, and we're gonna have Bridger read this for us.
Yea, verily I say unto you, if you will come unto me, ye shall have eternal life. Behold, mine arm of mercy is extended towards you, and whosoever will come, him will I receive. And blessed are those who come unto me.
All right, and I'll open this up to all you guys. Who is invited in this scripture?
Everyone.
Everyone? Whosoever will come? Yeah, that could be everyone. And then I'll have this next verse read by Eliza here. This is Helaman, chapter 3, verse 28.
Yea, thus we see that the gate of heaven is open unto all, even to those who will believe on the name of Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God.
All right, so how many people is that?
All.
All, everyone. Okay, now we know for sure. We've gotten some clarity. And I want to emphasize today, I want to be very direct in my message, that this especially includes those that are different from us, and those that are unique, those that are weird, and everyone we see every day. So this is my friend Colin. He was my companion on my mission, and he is just about as different as people get. He's from Irvine, California. His mom worked at Disneyland, which isn't, I guess, all that crazy. He's half Filipino, and he was born deaf. He didn't acquire any language until he was 3 years old. And for any of you that know anything about developing children, that's a big gap missed, where you miss a lot of those developmental opportunities. So he was behind in a lot of things emotionally, educationally, and that made it really hard for him growing up. He was able to get a cochlear implant, so he can speak, and he is technically deaf, hard of hearing, so he speaks English. But with that, he has a very heavy deaf accent, and his voice is really high pitched, so it's hard for people to understand what he's saying most of the time. Additionally, he had a hard time fitting in. All of these challenges make it hard for anyone to fit in. He struggled to feel wanted and needed in his community, in his school, and that's why it's so important we have this role to play. Now, he chose to serve a full-time mission, and this was especially hard for him because he's attracted to both men and women. But despite that, he was able to train missionaries. He was able to invite others to come unto Christ, and he brought people to God. Now, I'm going to go ahead and have Sadie read this verse.
He doeth that which is good among the children of men, and he doeth nothing save it be plain unto the children of men. And he inviteth them all to come unto him and partake of his goodness, and he denieth none that come unto him, black and white, bond and free, male and female, and he remembereth the heathen, and all are alike unto God, both Jew and Gentile.
All right, so I'll open this up to you guys one more time. Who does that include? Everyone. Elder Kieran said his fabulous plan is designed to bring you home, not just keep you out. No one has built a roadblock and stationed someone there to turn you around and send you away. In fact, it is the exact opposite. God is in relentless pursuit of you. He wants all of his children to choose to return to him, and he employs every possible measure to bring you back. Can we have no empty chairs in heaven? Can we get rid of all the extra space in the tram? My second point is that we can bring every person in. Our purpose is still to invite others to come unto Christ, no matter if they are different, if they're like Colin. It doesn't matter what they've chosen in the past. As we've seen, the Lord has made that invitation clear that it is open to every single person. And that even applies to dead people in our church. How crazy is that, huh? That when you do temple work, you perform those ordinances and you open that gate. Can we be friends with more people than just our bubble, than just members of the church? Can we be more tolerant of those that we disagree strongly with? Patrick Kieran said everything about the Father's plan is for his beloved children is designed to bring everyone home. So can we be gate openers and not gatekeepers? Can we make it so heaven is full? Third, Jesus is that tram operator. Like I said before, he is the one that has extended that invitation to invite everyone in. And he is the only one that is authorized to do that. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 12 says, "But this man had offered one sacrifice for sins forever." It's done. It's already been done. That price has already been paid. So it's not up to us who gets to heaven. It never has, it never will be. As J.B. Hawes said, we're all on the same level. We shouldn't be comparing ourselves in holiness to one another. He said that we all have that same universal condition of sin. We all need this Jesus. It doesn't matter if you go to the temple more often than someone. Does that make you better than them? Of course not. If you're wearing a t-shirt that says you're a child of God, does that make you more holy than them? Of course not. Brad Wilcox said that I testify that God's grace is sufficient. Jesus' grace is sufficient. It is enough. It is all we need. Oh, young people, don't quit. Keep trying. We are not these gatekeepers. Jesus Christ is the one that holds those keys. So today, what will you do to open the gate? What will you do to invite someone to squeeze in next to you, even if you don't like what they believe? And I want to be very clear when I ask this, who are you closing the gate on? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Can we get one more applause for Ian? Ian? Great. All right. Our next speaker and last speaker will be Valeria. Couple of facts. She was born in the land of Peru, but raised in the U.S. She has played 6 sports and committed to none of them. I feel that. And she has a shopping addiction. All right, everyone, give it up for Val.
Okay, this is me right here. It's not new. You guys have seen it before in some previous presentations. But when I was little, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do all the sports, all the talents, all the hobbies, be part of all the clubs, be friends with everybody. And I don't know why, but I do know when it started. And so I'm going to take you a little timeline of when that happened. This is me, and I'm 6. And I started doing all these sports. I started tennis, and then I also joined karate because that's awesome. But then I also did swim team because that's also super awesome. And then I needed to play an instrument. So like, okay, I'm going to do orchestra. So I started doing orchestra. Wanted to be in a parade, so I joined color guard. Then I was like, wait, I want to dance. So then I joined dance. And then I also saw my friends doing volleyball, so I joined the volleyball club. And I was doing all these things, and this is besides I also did like softball, and I also did theater, and I did ballet when I was a kid. I just wanted to do everything. And so I was busy, and I liked the way that I felt, and I felt successful at a pretty young age. And so today I want to ask you, what is success? Like, what really is success to you? What does success make you feel? What does it make you do? What do you see success as? And I want to challenge that today, the way that we define success, and maybe we can redefine it if it's incorrect. I'm going to kind of go about this in 3 different ways. That the first one is that being busy is not the same as being successful. False definitions of success distort who we become, and real success is who you become through the process, not the destination. So we're going to start in the beginning, and I'm going to kind of teach this through a story, and it's going to be my story, but I hope that you guys can also relate this in your guys' lives and in your story, and that you can be able to find success in that too. So it didn't just end when I was a little girl. I went in high school and I was like, I'm going to do everything again. So part 2, I joined student council because I was like, wow, leadership roles, getting to meet everybody. I'm going to do that. And then I did tennis again. And then I did swim again. And then this is actually a picture of me leaving my tennis tournament and then going to my swim meet in my tennis outfit with my swimsuit under it. And so I just wanted to do everything. I strived for excellence. I wanted to get scholarships. I was part of this amazing crew called Thunder Vision, where I would make videos with the best people ever. And I loved feeling known. I loved feeling seen. And I honestly had the best high school experience. But as I kept moving on past high school, I started to realize that maybe I'm having this distorted image of what success really is. Oakes gives a cool quote about the way that we might perceive success or being busy. And he says, so often we get caught up in the illusion that there is something just beyond our reach that would bring us happiness, a better family situation, a better financial situation, or the end of a challenging trial. As I was running and doing all these things, I realized, and maybe not to the, or grievous, to the point of where I was at, that I was entering a race that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to complete. I was entering a race, this path to success that I didn't even know if you could win. And so this is where it leads to perception and paradigms. This has been my theme this year. Perception is the way that we view things, view people. Paradigms is the way that we view ourselves, others in the world, and the way that we treat and act others because of the way that we see them. I realized I had a lot of false perceptions and paradigms through living my whole entire life doing all these things. And and I realized I had all these thoughts and all these false beliefs of what success could be. And some of these are mine, but maybe some of these are also yours too. I believe that I need to put on a performance to be entertaining. Every time I walk in a room, I gotta be like, hey, what's up, everybody? To be cool, to be known. I believe that if I'm not taking every opportunity, then I'm wasting my time. That happiness is a destination. If I get something that shows that I'm successful, if I get a certain job, if I get a certain date, if I get in a certain group, if I get on someone's Instagram post, then I have made it, I'm successful. And there's so many more, but the biggest one was that I must be busy to be important. Uchtdorf kind of redefines this in a better way than I could, but he says, isn't it true that we often get so busy, and sad to say, we even wear our busyness as a badge of honor, as though being busy by itself was an accomplishment or sign of superior life? Isn't. I once heard from a friend, and he said that one time he was hearing his friend going through a hard time, and he told his friend, why didn't you tell me that? And he said, because you're always busy. I would hate that through all the things that I'm doing and all the accomplishments and all the success that I'm doing, that I miss out on the things that matter most. I would hate for someone to be like, Val, you were so busy, and so I couldn't really tell you what I was going through. That's, for me, not success. Who we are becoming. This is one of my favorite words, to become. It's my favorite word since the womb. I just want to be my best self. I want to become great, and I want to be more. And so I went on my mission, and I felt great. I honestly felt super relaxed. I was like, I'm a daughter of God. I'm going to try my best, and life is good. And when I came back home, those false beliefs honestly still existed. I was like, okay, guys, round 3, like, I'm gonna do everything. Like, I can do it. And so I came back home and I was in the Peruvian committee and I ended up being president of the Peruvian committee. I did all the things I wanted to do. And then I started teaching seminary. I was like, oh my goodness, I get to help God's kingdom and I get to teach all these kids. And like, not everyone gets in that program, so I'm awesome. So I did that. And then I was like, oh, and I also want to like be super good in my classes. So I'm gonna take 16 credits and like full time. Like I did that before school too. I did AP concurrent enrollment in high school. Like I can do this. Like, and I got back from my mission. I have the power of God with me. Like I can do this. Also got into my favorite organization of being able to teach God's children all over the world and travel. I was doing everything and I was successful, right? But then I crashed. I realized that I was doing everything that I loved, but I was nothing that I wanted to be. I was not the person that I wanted to be. My relationships were not real. My spirituality and my testimony was not genuine with God. My education was status quo. I cared about where I stood in status for education, and my mental health was low. I needed clarity. I needed just order, and I wanted to know who I was, and I wanted to love myself for the things that I was doing and not just be busy. And so I went home. And when I went home, I felt lots of failures. I was like, wow, I told myself I would never come home from college. I would never take a semester off. I would never go to my home YSA, and I would just never live at home. I was like, wow, I'm such a failure. And I was sitting at my home YSA one time at church, and I was just kind of sitting there just feeling dumb. And a girl commented something and it changed my life. She said, many people believe that it's me plus more equals Christ. And as I'm standing there, I'm like, yeah, you got to do more to be more. And she said, in reality, it's me plus Christ equals more. And I was really frustrated with myself that I didn't get this concept earlier. I was fighting and looking towards the world, trying to do more. I wanted to do more sports, wanted to be in more clubs, more important titles. When in reality, I just needed Christ. I just needed Jesus. And that's what made me more. And I can't finish this teaching about redefining success without him. And honestly, I haven't talked about him enough. But this is Christ. And his status of success is different than ours. And honestly, it's the greatest example. He had not the awesomest friends that everyone else would want. They were just fishermen. Like, they were not high reputation. But that wasn't his status of success. He taught many people. Yes, he ended up teaching sermons, but he started with small groups. Maybe for us, we'd be like, oh, that's not going to make a difference. But for him, it did. Did I do that? He didn't try to go and be a leader and be in these leadership roles of Pharisees and be in the Roman whatever capital. But he taught them if they didn't listen, he moved on. When I feel like most of us would be like, no, we got to go with people with a higher reputation and change their lives. We have to change the world. But he didn't try to do that. He didn't live that type of life. That wasn't his status of success or his bar of success. He taught in alleyways. He taught to people with low reputations. And that changed the world. That changed their world. He didn't try to make big, grand gestures. And if we were probably going to go serve, we probably wouldn't have gone to those alleyways because that's perhaps not the big status of success that we see. So what is success? And I want you to ask yourself again, how am I seeing success? How am I living success? What is my paradigm of success? When I left home after mourning for 7 months and trying to figure out what I really loved and who I really wanted to be, I realized that I wanted to become more. I wanted to become better. And becoming is successful. Jesus Christ's story, he ended off not in the most triumphant way. Easter's coming soon, and that is triumphant. But the way that he lost his life was not. And many may see that his life not super successful. But it's who he became during the process of his life here is what made everything successful for us. And so when I was coming back home or coming back to college, my mom once told me, she was like, Val, like, aren't you tired of being a leader? Like, aren't you tired of doing all these things? And I sat back and I said, yeah, I'm actually tired of chasing something that isn't real. Success is personal. Success is who you're becoming. And so I want you to take a step back and to really evaluate, what do I think success is? What are lies and distorted lies about success I can let go of? And what way am I living today that is helping me become who I want to become to have a successful life? Because success is who you are becoming along the way without even the title you thought you needed.
Wow, that was awesome. All right, can we get all our TED Talk speakers come up here for one massive round of applause? Okay. Well, that is a wrap on our TED Talks for today. Thank you so much for coming. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.